What's shakin' bacons? Today I wanted to show you guys a quick look at the movie rating scale that I mentioned I made for myself in Excel. Last time I had mentioned it in my Phantom Menace movie revisit review, and some of you indicated that you were interested in seeing the scale. Please bear in mind I did it in like 5 minutes, and it's just a very quick rating for myself based on the criteria that I sat down and thought about as being what I used to judge what I had issues with in the movie. This does not include anything I found great about the movie because that all kind of rolls up to 100%. This is how I deduct the criticisms that I have for the movies based on my personal thoughts and how I approach the movies. I have it queued up here. So this is the base scale, and you can see at the bottom that this is where I just copied the base scale for the Phantom Menace rating I did and for the Last Jedi rating I did. So essentially the way that it works is, you notice I have a note, just like little instructions, leave the numbers below that pertain. It's essentially a rolling scale. So all of these numbers where you choose the one that fits, you leave the numbers in up to the worst one that you choose. I realize that that's kind of confusing to listen to. So for example, let's say that there was a lot of inconsistency and issues with the movie. Let's say it wasn't WTF level, but let's say it was very inconsistent. I would not just delete the ones that did not apply. You would leave from 0 up to 1.5. So it rolls upwards, and that's what impacts the final rating out of all of the scores that are possible. And I had 6 criterias in case you guys are interested. Again, this is just a very personal scale. It's a very simple tool. You can see I've only got like one formula in here, and that's for the final rating. It's a very quick, simple tool. But it was good for me to use to quantify how I feel about movies. So basically we have acting, and it's on a scale from 0.5 to 2, and it goes from 1 or 2 bad actors to 20 to 50% of the actors are bad. Not all of them are bad. 50 to 89% were mostly bad, and then just pretty much 90% or more of the actors were just bad. Inconsistency issues goes from some to many to incredibly inconsistent, just not WTF, and then WTF. You've got predictability, so that's little to fairly to guessed almost everything. Cringe level, like some cringe, lots of cringe, and cringed the whole time. So a great example of this would be some cringe would be the Phantom Menace. There's a few cringy lines that the characters had. Attack of the Clones, all of the really awkward, creepy Anakin and Padme scenes, that just gives me lots of cringe. So I'll probably end up leaving 1 and 0.5 in the scale when I watch that movie. And then cringe the whole time would be like, I heard so much about the Netflix movie A Christmas Prince that I had to watch it and see for myself what a train wreck it was. So if I had rated that movie, I would have left all of these numbers in, because that movie I cringed the entire time. And I kind of want to, yeah, there it goes. I kind of want to shudder thinking about it. That movie was just so bad. So, and then I have entertainment factor, which is kind of lost me in parts. I reached for the phone a lot, or I wished I could. For example, if you're in a theater, you should not be using your phone in a theater. If you're one of those people, slap yourself in the face. You know, well, don't hurt yourself, but never freaking do that again. I cannot stand it when people use their phone in the middle of a movie. So if you're in the movie theater, you wished to reach for your phone a lot. 1.5 is you just wanted the movie to end. You're just like, get me out of here. I want to be done with this movie. And then for music, some choices are a tad off. Some didn't fit the film at all. Some are completely out of sync. These are the 6 criteria that I use. And then you can see here, as an example, the higher the rating, the less numbers you're going to see, because essentially the more numbers there are, the more issues. This scale is tabulating how high on the scale the issues are for the movie. You can see that for my scale for the Phantom Menace. Granted, there's a bunch of numbers left for acting and for different facets of this, but the total score was 64%. If we click over to my tab with The Last Jedi, you can see that there are a lot more numbers left on this scale in comparison to The Phantom Menace, and you can see that there's a lower score. So essentially, the more numbers there are, such as in this base scale where every number is still filled in, the lower the score will be, because again, this is tabulating on a increasing scale how many points are being deducted from the total overall film rating. And this is based on my personal taste. If you guys would like a copy of this, either to use it for yourself to see how your taste matches with mine, or maybe you want to edit it or add a few things, change a few things, and then you can use this as your own scale, let me know and I'll be happy to upload this somewhere and you guys can play around with it. But I hope this answered any questions that you guys might have about the movie rating scale that I made for myself in Excel. Love Excel. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I am so thankful again that you guys have joined me on my channel, coming along on this movie and gaming journey with me, and of course the occasional travels notebooks, because like I said, I am a nerd in addition to liking computers, liking gaming, and liking movies, and liking TV shows. I also really love to make lists and journals because that's who I am. Anyway, thank you again for tuning in. I hope this answered any questions, but if I have forgotten to cover anything as I went over this movie tool, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. And I guess I have to give the typical YouTube spiel now. Give it a like or a thumbs up. I hate saying that. Okay, you guys.